All right, we are live on YouTube. We are live on Discord. 4 people joined. Let us wait for everyone to join first. Let's say if they start to join. I have texted them on the channel. I hope they start. Let's see how many has responded. Let me invite some more people from here only. And let me post the link here as well. Alright, so as we all know, we are making the metaverse, and yeah, somebody also jumped in. Who is this? Hi, hello,
Amritam.
Amritam. So we are making this metaverse, and this is the day fourth. For a lot of reasons, I didn't get time to do much. Let me just show you guys first that what I was busy with. So I was plenty busy with this website which we have built. This is basically the platform where we're gonna basically help industry people to get better candidates and candidates to get into the industry, so that whoever is working in virtual reality and whoever wants to work in virtual reality, augmented reality, they can simply go and register themselves. They can use LinkedIn or whatever the kind of login they want. If they want to register as employer, that is also an option, so they can basically visit. As you can see, all kind of jobs available. You can search Unity, you can search, probably Unreal is not available, the jobs are not there, but Unreal option is there. And we have more than 84 categories right now, which are very specific to XR only. So like for example, you are not going to find categories like photogrammetry artist or somebody, right? So the platform is again available, and it's free 100% till 2022. I'm sure that I'm going to increase this deadline further as well as soon as we reach to that particular date. So right now it's 1st of June, so please start registering fast on this. Here, that's how simple is going to be registered. Just hit Google and come onto the platform. So not going to waste much more time on this. I'm going to talk about what we were building and what we want to do today. So Discord pay, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, let me share my entire screen on Discord so that you guys can see. You guys can see me now, right? Not me, the screen, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Hi Tarang, how are you after a long time? अभी कहाँ नाव वाव चला रहे हो?
बंद है चलाना।
बंद है चलाना
आप
नाव?
कैसे हो?
ये
चलाया
हमारा
नहीं, उसके
माझी,
बाद फिर मैंने
माझी आ गया, माझी, तरंग माझी. Okay, so awesome. So we are going to build a project today, and we are going to build a very networking part, which is the most core and most essential part of metaverses. So I have this project set up. Last time I set it up this project XRD on the GitHub. I also might have explained how to set up your projects with GitHub. All right, so we are going to open this. We are going to work in this one. In the last session, I explained how the networking actually works, how you can sync two computers within each other, and how you can do all sort of things. So today, I'm going to focus. Okay, people on YouTube cannot see screen, now they can. All right, so this is our XRDI metaverse which we are building, and now the project is here. I was testing some of the things from Photon, but I didn't like some of the things, so I'm kind of ditching Photon for now. However, it is a beautiful engine, undoubtedly. So let me just delete Photon. Right, I'm going to use Unit instead. Unit used to be Unity's networking platform, but now Unit is picked up by Mirror, something called Mirror, and Mirror has converted Unit into something much more, which is now known as Mirror Networking API. Let me show you where that is. So this is the Mirror Networking API. mirrornetworking.com. You go to mirrornetworking.com, you just Google mirror networking and you'll be able to find it. So here we are. They have the beautiful Discord as well, 3000 plus members. So you can build MMORPGs on this. So right now the game in which they are running 480 plus people together running and raiding some kind of farm or something, right? So MMORPGs are huge games in which all the players connect from all part of the world online, and they can talk to each other seamlessly. MMORPGs are the metaverses before the word metaverse was famous by Facebook, right? So that's what we are going to do, right? So that's what we are going to at least start and set up. So it's telling me that go to asset store and download my mirror, right? We can go to asset store and you can see this beautiful mirror logo, and it comes with a lot of packages, and it is used by this particular game called Population One. So if you don't know about Population One, it is a beautiful beautiful game on Oculus virtual reality headset. It is a very powerful game. It is almost like Fortnite of virtual reality. Let me show you a trailer of this. I must show you the trailer of this. This is a beautiful game, and this is one of my favorites, and it's built on mirror. I saw the trailer. I came to know that it's built on mirror, so that's why that is also one of the reasons that why I did that photon and going to do it with here only. As you can see, the resemblance between the Fortnite and this one. So Population One is available on Oculus as well, and it's a very powerful game. On Oculus, it's going to be amazing. So similarly, you can see plenty of games which are being built. They all have listed most of the games which are being built on this. So we can definitely make our metaverse for this. And the good thing about it, this is free and this is open source as well. So which means even at the low level networking, we don't like something, we can change it. It come up with a lot of documentation, which I'm going to talk about a little bit. Like there is definitely a high level documentation which you can find. High level means we can use the engine as it provides it, all the components are built on top of it. But we can also go low level and tweak the very network layers in whatever way possible, whatever way we want. So it comes up with all both kind of APIs for low level networking and high level as well, right? You have option to choose whether UDP or TCP any protocol. So that is also a very good thing. I think only uh, wrong thing about this versus Photon is that on this does not handle server client switching. So let's say if I hosted a server, and I told you about all of this in the previous session as well. So if I hosted a server and I'm also the client, but whenever I'm gonna quit my game as a server hosted server, if it's a client hosted server, if I quit it, the game is gonna finish. It's not going to transfer my server powers to some other player, right? However, Photon does that. So that is the only drawback which we'll get in this. But we don't even have to care about this because we are not going to do the client server thing. We are going to do the server thing. What is server thing? Which means we'll deploy our server on a separate AWS platform, and we are not going to rely on a singular machine to host a server, right? So that's what I'm sort of looking for. All right, so let me just go to Unity, and there is an asset store as you can see. Let me go and download mirror package. Search online. Always use browse. Okay, no worries. I have to go here again and search for mirror. Awesome. Let's search mirror. Hope streaming is good. Yes, it is. Mirror. Yep, this is mirror, right? So open in Unity. Since I have already downloaded it, it's telling me to open in Unity. As you can see on the package manager, I can see the mirror now. I can install the mirror by using import and import everything from mirror. All right. How many people are here? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Really few. When we started this, we used to have a lot of people, and it's decreasing day by day. So please, I know I'm not being able to stay consistent with this because I'm getting a lot of work in between, but I'm trying my best. Even today as well, I had to go to office and come back, and there is renovation is also going on in office, so a lot of work is going on. But still, I'm trying whatever possibly I can. Right. So yes, let's just stay. And we hopefully will create something useful for everyone. Okay, so yeah, package is installed. This is our package mirror. All right, so let me just show you a simple things about. Let's say, okay, this is the Pong, and this is one of the very good example which you can try. Right, so let's go on this scene. This is the Pong scene, and let me tell you how to use it. So there are some things which you need to care about. Let's go in this, and I have set it. I have already tried some of the networking on this, so this is already set up correctly. So just go in there, and by default it stays in full screen window, but go for windowed version and select this size because this size fits for me. If you want smaller size, you can also go for 640 and 480 or something like that, but you can I think 1024 and what was the 720p, which is known as, is good for me right now. All right, so this is the setting I want to be done. All right, and whatever the scene I am right now, I'm on this scene. So as you see, I was trying the photon, but I don't want it. Okay, I am going to import this scene and going to build this scene immediately. So let's create a folder here. I'm going to call it builds. All the builds are going to be here, and this is the Pong demo, so I'm going to create another folder for Pong. All right, awesome. So let's build it, and let's see. This is an example what we are building, which comes with mirror, so that it can tell you how to use it quickly, and you can change with the examples and see what exactly happens. All right, so this is what we are trying to do. I've already explained all the theory from this, so I'm not going to go over the theory again, but I'm going to explain this build this network right now. Right, so this is telling me that I'm giving it access. For what kind of access I'm giving it? Private networks such as home or network, so which means all the devices on the Wi-Fi can use this, can connect on this network, and this is for public networks such as those at airports and everything. So Wi-Fi, let's say, which is a public Wi-Fi, not registered as a home Wi-Fi, can over that network as well. This API can send access. However, it is not sending access to the internet. It is not sending yet. We'll make it send, but I think maybe not in this version. But I'll do it in the next episode for sure. All right. So this is right now telling me this is a string written, and the written is localhost. You can also write 127.0.0.1, so replacement of localhost. So I'm going to host a server and on localhost. As you can see, as I hosted, there is, hold on, there are three options. Just look at the options one more. So there is an option of host server and client, sorry, host server and client and server only. What does they actually mean? Let me just check if, yeah, everything looks good. So host server means the same window is going to be the host as well as a server as well. So this window is 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 responsible for sending all the confirmations. I told you about this model in the previous session where I explained the host servers and server only, all the three things. So let's say if I do server only, this is not going to populate the character in which there was a dash, so I cannot do much on this. This is just the server. This is just responsible for transferring all the matches. So let's try this. Let's make it server only, and let's run two more instance of this. Let's make one client, right? So now we got one client up, and let's make this second client. Okay. And as you can see, the match has started, you can see the match is running here as well. All right. So match is running on 3 instances now. One is only server, two are other clients. So something like this. You can see the match on all 3 windows, right? So let's say if on this window, if I move my racket, you can see the immediate effect on all 3. All right. So this is sending some commands to the server. Server is verifying and sending back to here, and vice versa. Right. If I go on this window and we start moving this, you can see my player is moving. Right. So this is something what we are going to build today, uh, or maybe the 3D version of this basically. Okay. Something that we can control and something that we can sync over the network. And this of course the mirror API is going to help us with the networking platform. I have explained all the theory related to this, so I'm not going to go over that and going to go and build it quickly, because there's going to be some of the code, and definitely you need to know some of the C sharp to be able to build it. I have did C sharp sessions in the past. You can take some references from there, but I'm not going to waste much more time on this in this session particularly. I'm more interested in building this. All right. So step number one, let's create some cool folders, because we love cool folders and we need them. So let's create one called material. Right. We are going to create a folder called material. Let's create a material folder called M0. Right. M0 is one material. Let me populate this material several times. Right. Let me just quickly start adding material. So let's say I can make this black. I have black material now. I can make this somewhere gray. Then I can make this somewhere white. I I think I made white. Okay, white is here. Okay, then we can make a red. Then we can make a material green. Okay. Similarly, we are making several material yellow, blue. Guys, what color should I make next? Yeah, tell me which color.
Pink or purple, violet. Uh,
Yeah, somewhere between pink, purple, and violet. All right, the last color. Last color. Let's pick. This is cool, right? But this was very similar to what we did. Orange. I love orange. All right. So now we have a lot of colors. Now we can make a colorful game. So let's me just create a floor, because we need floors. Floors are good. So let's create video object, a cube. Okay, and let's make this scale 1000, z 1000. All right. So and put it to -1. Right. So now we have this flow
is
ready.
this
Make the flow
is this
green.
for a VR headset?
This is not now going to be VR, but eventually in further time it's going to be VR. So right, if you don't have a VR headset, you can also follow along and do it without a VR headset. So right now there is no such thing as VR in this. It's we are right now working on networking only. Okay. All right. Let me
Okay,
just create a character. So I'm going to create a character. This is our cute character. His name is Cube, and Cube is a very good boy. All right. So as you can see, it's perfectly sitting on the platform. Let me call it player. Right. I'm going to give player some sort of cool spectacles. Let me give it a capsule, video object, and then a capsule. I'm going to make a cool spectacles for him, because he needs to look good, right? So let's make it 90. Right, and let's scale it down. somewhere here. This is going to look very cool, right? A little bit smaller. Okay, it looks like he's wearing VR glasses, right? Now he's wearing VR glasses. Already into Metaverse. Cool. Okay, let me add some color value to it. So let's make this boy red. Now the guy is looking good. Uh-huh. Okay, so now let's just try making some controls for this guy. So I'm going to quickly create a folder for scripts, right? Okay, there was already a folder called scripts, so I'm going to delete it. I'm going to go into scripts, right click, create C# script, and here we are going to name it pair movement. Right? Going to and done. Alright, so do some scripting. Cool. I'm going to write some code. Let me just make the size bigger for you guys. Is it fine now? दिख रहा है? Public.
सर
Let's take speed. So we are going to take two speed. Let's take speed for moving. So let's say move speed, right? Let's say move speed is 5, and let's say another speed called rotate speed. Rotate का spelling गलत गया. Speed, and let's call it 2, 2 or 1 or whatever. Okay, doesn't really matter. An update function. You know what is update? I think I have explained in my section, which is related to getting
मास्टर
into
क्लास
XR session, right? Masterclass. Awesome. So we are going to create some variables. Vector 3, so let's say move vector, and another. Let's initialize it. So vector 3 dot 0, and another we are going to create a rotate vector. And this is
सर सर
sir.
ये जो वेक्टर 3 है वो हम पहले जो है मूव वेक्टर और रोटेट वेक्टर के इसलिए इनिशियलाइज करते हैं क्योंकि हम बता रहे हैं कि वो इन 3 कोऑर्डिनेट्स में घूमने वाला है तो उस ज्योमेट्री के लिए
Somewhere, yes, yes. So this
मतलब
entire
जैसे कि इंटीजर होता है ताकि हम इंट वैल्यूज ले
सिंगल
सके
वैल्यू
फ्लोट
स्टोर
होता
कर
है
सकें. वेक्टर का
ऐसे
मतलब है हम 3 वैल्यू स्टोर करते हैं उसमें. एंड वेक्टर्स हमारे लिए इसमें यूजफुल इसलिए हैं क्योंकि ये एक 3 डायमेंशनल दुनिया है. तो
हाँ
उसमें
हाँ
3 वैल्यू स्टोर करेंगे तो हम किसी भी चीज की पोजीशन डिफाइन कर सकते हैं, राइट?
मतलब
तो
फ्लोट और इंट ऐसे टाइप का ही हो गया ना मतलब
vector
वेक्टर
is
3
exactly like 3 float. So let's say if I create this thing, public class custom vector, राइट? और इसमें अगर मैं ये कर दूं फ्लोट ए कॉमा या तो फिर लेट्स से ए बी सी, राइट? और यहाँ पे ये डिक्लेयर कर दूं, ठीक है, पब्लिक custom vector new vec, right? So this is the same thing. This and this are the same thing. Okay, so when I'm creating the vector, obviously इसके अंदर कुछ functions थोड़े ज़्यादा हैं, वो functions भी create करने जाएंगे और फिर सब कुछ जब हम C++ में कोड करते हैं ना, I did a lot of ray tracer and these kind of things, then we have to go this way. Then we don't have the accessibility ability to use this kind of functions like vector, so we define the vector this way only. Okay, and built all the functions by ourselves, by all the numbers and mathematical equations and everything, right? So right now we are working with Unity, we have a lot of leverage and we are just taking advantage of this calculations which Unity provide us, right? So I'm going to initialize the vector by 0. What does 0 means? It means all the vectors are going to have the value of exactly 0 comma 0 comma 0. So it means it's going to have the value is 0. This is a null vector. Alright, not null exactly, but awesome. Okay, so we have take some input and do some motion, right? So how do you take input in Unity? Simple. If input dot get key, right? And what key? Let's
code
say arrow key. Input. Sorry. Key
key
code
code dot arrow key.
dot
Sorry, up arrow.
dot. Let's say up arrow. Right. Let's start with up arrow. Okay. Now we are taking the input of up arrow, which means whenever the up arrow is pressed, this code is particularly going to be firing. Whenever the up arrow is going to be fired, what we can do is we can move the player forward. So let's implement the vector. So we have this vector called move vector. We are going to move forward. So that's why we are implementing the value of move vector. Move vector plus equal to, because we are implementing in where I want to move forward. Na, who's forward? World's forward or my forward? My forward. So my forward is transforms forward. Transform, okay, dot forward. We get this vector called forward. Knows that in which direction it is facing.
Forward, sir, forward is already a method in transform.
Yeah, it's already stored in transform, right? And then we are going to multiply by it to move speed. And we can also do some sort of normalization here. Not normalization, but we can also move in a single frame. So that's why we are going to use delta time, right? I will explain why. Mean I have explained these kind of things in the session I did in the. Okay, so I have explained this line exactly. All right, so if I press the forward key, the character is going to forward. If I press the backward key, the character is going to go backward. Let's hope for that. Okay, up arrow and down arrow. So what I have to go do in down arrow, I have to go backward. So let's multiply that by -1. Right, now this is pointing towards back. Let's check if this works. So how do I check? Let's say transform dot position plus equal to, right, whatever the move vector is. Okay, let's check this code if we are able to go forward and back or not. Right, let's check this. This is our code. This is our player. I put it the player. It has speed and everything, so it should go forward. Let's see if I press the up arrow and down arrow, it happens or not. Because scene has no valid scene ID yet. Don't worry, man. Put it on me. Okay, so I press this. I cannot go. I am pressing left and right, and it doesn't happen anything. And if I am pressing forward, it's going forward. If I am pressing backward, it's going backward. You can see the characters can go forward and backward, but cannot go left and right. So let's make it go left and right as well. Okay, so how can we make it go left and right? First, take input for left and right keys. Okay, so
Dot left arrow or
yes,
right arrow or एक second,
left arrow.
transform dot forward or backwards. Otherwise, also we have right ways or left way, sideways, some
Okay,
sort
so
of.
let's first we are going to do it in left arrow and right arrow. We are not going to move forward. We are going to do something different. So in the, let's say, left and right arrow, we are going to
We can
rotate.
do like transform dot vector and we can change the x coordinates of them.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's we are not going to left and right. We are going to let's rotate. Which axis? So let me check the character. Which axis I should rotate. So this axis Y is pointing upwards. If I rotate, if I check my player and rotate in Y, you can see it's rotating left and right, which means in left, in the Y axis I have to rotate to be able to make it steer. So that's what I'm going to do with the like this. So rotate vector, right? Similarly, same code, almost same code. Okay, rotate vector, and we are to rotate. So now we can do two things: whether we can rotate it based on my up, or we can rotate it based on world's up. Okay. In this case, it was really essential for us to make it rotate worlds up, but here we can also sorry, my forward, but here we can also take advantage of worlds up. Okay. So we can use both the things. Yep. So let's use worlds up. So let's say vector 3 dot up. Okay, which is worlds up. This is exactly equal to 0 comma 1 comma 0. So if I write worlds up, or if I write new vector 3 0 comma 1 comma 0, this is the same thing. I can also write it in both ways. I can also write it vector 3 comma up, right? What vector 3 dot up. So this is the same thing. That, and to how much speed I want to rotate. So let's say I want to, this is the left key code na? So in the left key code I have to go, let's say, in the minus direction, left key code, and by what speed? Let's say I want to go rotate speed, right? So, and similarly, or if somebody is pressing here, I want to go in this particular axis by this speed. All right. And whenever I'm sort of going to go find the final by this particular rotation, so let's say there's a function called transform dot rotate, not this one, rotate, right? And here to rotate vector, right? So what we have calculated this rotate vector, and then we can apply. So let's see what happens. We can go back to Unity, save everything. I hope it's compiled. Let's play. Ooh, something happened. It fly away. Oh, okay, no, no, no. It didn't fly away. It had added network identity. Oh, we can steer. This is going very cool. Okay, so now we can steer too much. It has too much control. We can steer too fast. So if we can steer, let's say, too fast, so we can also control from here how much we want to steer, right? So we have this function called rotate speed. I can stop it. I can make it half steer and double the speed. Okay, 1 and 10. So now it has perfect speed and good amount of steer it is happening. Okay, हो गया. Awesome. So now we made one character. We made it run, and now we'll make it network. All right, we'll make the same code network. We'll have to do it with two players. So let's try to do it. It's going to be an amazing challenge. I'm going to make the copy of the scene. Select scene, Control D, and it's going to create a copy for me. I'm going to name it S1. Right. I love simple names, so I'm going to make it S1. I'm going to go here. I'm going to delete my player. Okay. I didn't want to player. I never want to delete you actually. So I'm going to create a prefab. Okay. Here, let's create a prefab. Here we have our prefab. I'll go and put this prefab here, and then I'll delete it. Go. Okay. Now it has gone. It has something. So let me first prepare my game for network first, and then we'll do it whatever we want to do. Okay. So if I want to do it, let me just firstly create something called a empty object. We are creating the networking, so we are going to create a network manager. Right. Let me add a class from the mirror networking call.
सॉरी
Net.
सर, नेटवर्क मैनेजर कहाँ से कंपोनेंट्स में ऐड किया? मैं डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया था 1 मिनट के लिए।
I'm sorry. Okay, you were disconnected. No. So yes, I'm now adding network manager in the components, and network manager itself adds this particular class as well, the KCP transport. What is exactly KCP and why transport? I'll explain in the upcoming sessions when I'll code the specifics and sort of recreate this network management and network handling by yourself. So for now, I'm sort of explaining you the high level API in this session. In the next session, I'll go for maybe low level API, maybe mid, somewhere mid. Okay, so we'll definitely, there are some things which you need to take care, plenty of things actually. So there is something called player prefab. This is very important. This is you. Okay, this player prefab is you. Okay, and there is then something more important is server ticks. What is the server tick rate? This is server ticks 30 means, let's say even if your game is running on 90 or 20 or 120, it doesn't matter. The network is going to sync itself in between uh, two sorry 30 times a minute. So sorry, a second. In a second it's going to sync 30 times. The fps for network is going to be 30 times, and it's sufficient enough. 30 times a second is good enough. Actually the latency doesn't really matter here. Even if you are getting 30 times, it's more than enough to be able to run on the synchronously. Okay. So, and there is a network host, which is also a very important. This will be displayed on the very network. I'm going to add one more component to it, which is very important, which is called network hood, network manager hood. Yeah, network manager hood. Hood is basically heads up display. So whenever you gonna run this after adding this HUD, what it's going to do, it's going to create this UI. So this UI we are getting it for free, but in upcoming sessions we are going to create this UI, and definitely we can create in whatever the way we want. So let's, even if I hit it right now, you can see now I get this player. I can run this player as ever I want, right? The way I want to run this, I can run this. All right. So now let's build it and test it. Let's see what happens if I test it. Okay. So let me just go on build settings, add open scene, remove this scene. I don't want it. Okay. And what should be the name of our metaverse? Right now we have not yet decided what theme is going to be, but what should be the name? Who is the most funniest guy here? Dude, there was 7, 8 people, right? Everybody went. No worries.
I think there's a network issue. Your screen stream is not visible.
My stream is not visible. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Why didn't you guys tell me?
just a minute before it started.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
now it's visible. Now
Now
it's
it's
visible.
back. Now it's back.
Yeah.
Okay. Just 1 second. Let me check the stream health here as well. Looks like it's good. Warning, the stream current bit rate is lower than expected. Okay. कोई बात नहीं. होता रहता है network ऊपर नीचे. Okay. What should be the name of this particular network?
Mm,
Not network. मतलब build the verse. Let's just call it. I don't know what. Metaverse. Let's call it VRverse for now. Let's call it VRverse. However, the Metaverse name is not yet decided. Let's call it VRverse
for the time being.
for the time being. And we have the characters with the headsets as well, so it makes sense. Okay, so now we are going to build it. Let's see what happens and what we need to do. Right. So this is one of our VRverse, and this is another. So I'm going to run one here. Okay, one instance here, and the another instance I want to run on this editor, because I want to show that what we are doing wrong. All right, so let me just create one cube here. Okay, I have hosted the server here, I have hosted the client here, but now there is just one simple small problem. All right, problem is there are two cubes, it's saying one, and that is not a big problem, but let me make the problem big for you. Okay, there are two cubes. Okay, now this was the server, this is the server. Okay, let
आई गेस यू आर आप उसमें कर रहे हो, प्ले मोड में कर रहे हो सर।
now did you guess the problem now? Yeah, it's fine even if I'm doing in play mode. Did you guess the problem now?
क्लाइंट में एक ही क्यूब दिख रहा है।
Client में एक ही cube दिख रहा है. All right, this is you're saying one problem. Here, what is the problem?
दोनों साइमल्टेनियसली मूव कर रहे हैं, दोनों में एक ही स्क्रिप्ट ऐड हो गई है।
Okay, दोनों में
मतलब
एक ही script है, दोनों control ले रहे हैं. So both are running from single line of code, single control. So they are not two characters. It is just one
दोनों का
character.
इनपुट एक ही कीबोर्ड से,
Right,
मतलब कोई हम्म,
right. And this is not multiplayer. Right. The transport layer we are using is KCP. What is KCP exactly? I'll explain, but not today. So it's a mystery. If you read it about it, it's good. Okay. So yeah, let's make it better. Let's fix this problem, which we just saw. Okay. So to fix this problem, I'm going to create folders because I love creating folders. So I'm going to create one called network, in which I'm going to create some network call, and I'm going to create one folder called other. In this other folder, I'm going to push this script. I don't like this script here. And all right. So in the other folder, I have this player movement script. I'm going to sort of duplicate this script from here. It is has created here, and I have pasted that player movement script back in here. All right. So I am going to name it player movement. Let's call network. Player movement network. I'm going to modify the script in such a way that it could work on a network. Right now, as you saw, the one same script was working on network and it was not compatible because it was taking keyboard from the same keyboard, which is not very helpful. Right. So there was two problem. One, we were not even syncing. The other was even pathetic. I'll tell you. Okay, so we are going to fix it from here. First thing first, let's import our package using mirror because we are using mirror and that is a true thing. We have to define, we have to tell it that we are using mirror. This is mono behavior right now we are using, but we have to use something called network behavior because multiplayer. Why it's happening to me? Okay, network behavior, we got it. Okay, now network behavior is same as mono behavior, not much difference, but some more added networking features. One of the added networking feature is a function, very important function called if is local. Okay, is local player is a very powerful tool, and you are going to use this particular variable a lot when you are coding on multiplayer. Right. So let me simply save it for now, compile everything without any error. Okay, okay, so let's modify this code. First of all, it's a shitty code. Let me make it a better code. I'm going to create two functions. Let's call take take input, and let's say apply input. One function is responsible for take input and other function is responsible for applying input, or let's say uh, move according, whatever. Okay, it means the same thing. Right, I'm going to move these vectors up somewhere. So let's move them here. Okay, because it's better for us. In how it's better for us, you'll see. Okay, I'm going to let's make it a little bit private. This is fine. are going to require this. Okay, I'm going to delete all this code. Okay, let's say we are going to go with something called accesses. So let's take make the fix code fix by better way. Let's say horizontal axis. Horizontal axis equal to code dot get access, and here we are going to with name. Let's call it horizontal. So here we are receiving horizontal axis, and here we are receiving vertical axis. What are these axes? I'll explain in a minute. Okay, so what is this axis and why we are using horizontal and vertical axis is when we were doing the get key and arrow key and down key, but as you know in gaming some users uses WSDF and all kind of standards instead of arrow keys, right? So how you gonna handle you can either choose to write, or if you don't receive this key, then also look for, instead of up key you should also look for W key. So key code dot W, right? And sorry, W, right? And some users also use the controllers. All kind of controllers are there, so you can also add and then input key dot joystick. Okay, you can do all sort of things, or Unity already maps everything inside this axes. They call it horizontal axis. So let's say even if you add a controller, even if you add a swipe functionality or something, even if you add all kind of keys, for example WSAD and arrow keys both, so it's going to take all instead of all as the similar thing, and it's also going to take care of the down key within this variable. So let's say if you are receiving the down key, it's going to give you -1. If you are receiving up key, it's going to give you +1. So that's how it's going to manage. So we are receiving a single variable. It's going to be -1 if the down key is pressed. It's going to be +1 if if that up key is pressed. All right. So we are going to take motion, and we are going to use this based on the motion. So I'm going to remove this function and do it here in the apply input, because that is important to separate them. You'll see why this is important. And we are also going to do this sort of things here. All right, in the take input section we are going to not clutter the update, because update is a very important class, and we cannot misbehave with this update. Respect update. Okay, so now we have received a better way how we cook better, try the input better. Extend my move vector and rotate vector. So move vector is going to be move vector plus again the same way, transform dot forward times move speed, right? Times uh, horizontal or vertical, which axis you want? Vertical axis. Why? Because this is connected to the up arrow and down arrow. And then not sort of shorten it by time dot delta time. So time dot delta time is doing nothing, but it's going to make the value shorter. So multiplying by time delta time is equal to dividing by something like 60, right? Something like that. Okay? Because the value of time dot delta time is somewhere around 0.02 or something. So if you multiply anything to this, it's equal to dividing by 50, right? You can do the calculations. And then similar to rotate vector, so rotate vector plus equal to, and then transform dot up. As I said, whether you use transform dot up or whether you use another thing, it is going to well, have pros and times horizontal axis, right? Uh, Times horizontal axis, the rotation speed, whatever the rotation speed we are receiving, rotate speed, received it. Awesome. So it can rotate now. It can transform, looking very better than earlier. But you might say, okay, this is still the same code. This is the same code, but maybe organized in a better way. How you think it's going to work in multiplayer? It's not. But if I do this, if let's say if I do this, okay, so I have to call if is local player, which means if I am a local
तो
player means
लोकल प्लेयर मतलब
local player मतलब बता रहा हूँ local player means let's say whenever you use client and server networking, so one instance of you is going to be created in this client, one instance of you is going to be created in the server, and there are two different networks. So if you are 16 players, if you are running a server a game into 16 player, one copy of you is connected in all those 16 computers, right? So let's say if you are playing Counter Strike with 16 player, your avatar is visible in all those 16 computers, right? But which one is actual one? Which one is the controller one? The controller one is the local player. So local player is responsible for control, and it's not responsible. We are going to make it responsible. So we are going to apply these things only when there is network player. So take input when we are network player, and apply those input if we are network player. Sorry, apply input. Okay, so we took input, we applied input, all looks good, fancy. We just changed one line of code. There is one more thing which I prefer doing. Yeah. So as I said, this is the player, right? I'm going to do just one simple change. So I need to remove this player movement script and add this player movement network script. All right, rest is same. Okay, and I'll also network identity is also added. I'll add one more thing, network transform. Okay, so network transform is added. It's going to take a lot of things for me, and I'm going to remove this capsule on this particular thing, and now it looks really good. Okay, let's build this and let's test this. Let's say fingers crossed. I hope it works. Let's test it. VRverse. Let's test this VRverse. Test this VRverse. VRverse. One instance, another instance. We have these two copies running of the same game. One is going to be server, another is going to be client. They both are created now. Oh, we did something wrong because yes, we did something wrong because we cannot see. Okay, we did something wrong. Okay, we can see this one is synced there, but we cannot see the copy of that being initialized here for some reason. Something is wrong. This guy is going anywhere. It is synced one way for some reason and not synced for other way. Okay, so there is some problem. I'll check the code once again. I think I did something very foolish somewhere here. Or to create player, yes. Okay, okay, I remember what I did. So there is a very useful setting somewhere which I need to check. Yeah, client authority, make sure this is checked. I hope this was the only problem. Make sure the client authority is checked. So right now it was not giving the authority to client to run this. Let me go. I'll also uncheck the development build so that my build looks beautiful. Let me just rebuild it and hope that that was the only thing which we need to do. Let's just test it. So client authority is important. Let's say if that was the only thing. Let's see if it doesn't work. I need to check it, debug it. Okay, server, client. Okay, but we didn't get the other character instanced. Oh, we did get, but for some reason, okay, this was stuck in this. For some reason, okay, both of them are moving. I don't know why both of them are moving. Okay, so we definitely did something, but we did something somewhere wrong, and this is
Hello?
become a game.
Is local player is implemented correctly or not?
Yeah, that's. Let me just check. That is what I need to check as well. In the code, I'm sure I did. I didn't do anything wrong. Let me just check. Is local player? Yes, that is correct. Take input from local player only. Or let me. I'll log in some sort of book player thing, and we somewhere did something wrong. And yeah, the code looks correct to me. Only is local player should be the guy which is responsible to check whether, yeah, I don't think code has any problem. This looks
His local player is from which class?
hmm?
His local player is from which class?
Network behavior. No, network behavior
Okay,
has this.
derived from.
It's derived component from the network layer, right? So let me just check the prefab. I think the prefab might have some problem. So prefab has this network identity or not? Yes, prefab has this network identity. Prefab has this network transform. Okay, sync mode observe. This is perfect as it should be. Client authority is provided. This looks totally correct to me and there is no problem in there. Let me check this again. I don't need to set up this. This is fine. This is fine. Network manager is good. Uh, yeah, yeah, this is perfect. Can't be better. Max connections, let's set it to 2 because right now we are testing with 2 only. However, 4 is fine as well. We can keep it 4, keep it 2, doesn't matter. Authenticator, we don't need one. Player is correctly set. Auto create player, yes. I don't see any problem. It should not do this. Let me just try one more time and Okay, so I'll create one instance here. Okay, and then I'll create one instance here as well, so that we can debug as well that what's going on wrong. Okay, I created one, and there is a network which is created, and client authority is checked, and in the network identity it should tell me that what kind of network it is, kind of sort of player it is. And yeah, looks good. And let me select one as a client as well. So one client is also here, and I can see this, but there is no there is some problem for sure. Okay, so I cannot see this in client. For client there is only just one guy. Okay, stop host, and let me host server here and client here. And now there are two of the characters for some reason. Yeah, it's something related to the network identity. We missed something on that. That is for sure. Let me see why network identity is not behaving correctly. I think I need to remove the network identity and add it correctly, because it's definitely has something to do with this. Remove network transform identity. Go in the prefab. Move network transform. Move network identity. Move the script. Now this is totally new. Okay, this is perfect. Now set up this again. Network identity, and let's say server only, but we really does not want it to go server only. Let's add a network transform with client authority and player movement network. So we build it almost. There is nothing we cannot expect for, but there is some minor detail which is yet to be fixed. Okay, so this is the guy with all the settings. Let me just build one more time. Book manager, let me just test it one more time. Looks good, looks good. Yeah. Did I build it or did I not? I think I did something wrong. Let me build. Really sorry. Let me just build it one more time. I'm doing this network code after a long time. It won't be. It could be a problem, and maybe I'm doing something. I'm missing some step of some kind. Not really sure. Let's connect as a client. Yeah, again the same problem. Yep, yep. This shouldn't work like this at all. This should not work like this at all, at all. Right. So for some reason they both identify themselves as the network. If I remove client authority, let's see what happens. Let me just remove client authority and build one more.
क्लाइंट अथॉरिटी रिमूव नहीं हुआ सर, वो रन टाइम में हुआ था.
Wait a second now. Just a client authority should be there, otherwise the client will not be able to send all the commands. Client authority must be there, but it is behaving somewhere, something is wrong. Maybe the protocol it's using is wrong or something. You can see both of the characters are moving. That never happens. That never happens. Something is wrong. Something is really fishy.
Sir, can you debug the local player that it is recognizing the local player or not?
क्या वही कर रहा हूँ. Let's debug the local player. For some reason, it's not giving me the correct identity. Or maybe I'm syncing something. Sync mode owner is sync. Let's say sync mode owner. I'm sure it has nothing to do with that. I'm sure. Okay. I'm just looking at some of the docs in the iPad as well.
So we can have it on next meet.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry. So let me just try setting this one more time. And I'm trying to reset this network manager. Okay. It must take the prefab, and the prefab is going to be our do player prefab. This is prefab with the network movement, the movement network identity, and network transform, which is good. Client authority is also there, so that client could also sync. The client couldn't sync with this. Only the servers can sync, and that should be it. There is literally nothing much to add on this. But if this doesn't work right away, I don't really know how it's gonna, why it's not working, because there's nothing left to debug here. It's very low amount of steps you could create take to create this field target build. Okay, why? Okay, there was another instance going on, that's why it couldn't build. Let me just try one more time. Server, let me move it somewhere else. One client, let me move it somewhere else. Okay, for some reason this is wrong in client and wrong in server 2. So for some reason the is local code is not working. Let me just check once again why in the code it's not happening. Is local player is local player should be the right thing to do. Why I'm not getting the right value, man? Why this network identity is giving me identity crisis here? Let me check if on XRDI somebody has commented something. Maybe these guys are awesome. Maybe these guys has commented something on suggestions. What I'm missing? What I'm missing? What I could be? No comments. Some, no worries. There could be some. Definitely, don't do this server rule. Client authority is needed. Let me uncheck with the client authority, and this is definitely not good. This is going to run, but the client will not be able to send to the server, right? So there's going to be one way. My problem is, why is local working not working as expected? That problem is not addressed. Hold on. Uh, okay, I know what is the problem, man. How I can be so dumb? How I can be so dumb? I am so dumb. My fault, man. My fault. I think I left one player on the on this scene itself. I think that was the problem. So this is running. Okay, and let me create one scene here as well and run it. Yeah, I know what I did wrong. Yes, Now I know. Build setting, the 30 turn on, and now so for some reason I guess I left one player on the scene, and that should not be the case. This is a cube, this is network manager, and there is our player, and on the player there is no other script than our player movement script. So yeah, perfect, and this should run. Okay, okay. I need to build this one more time. I'm really sorry, because last time I was running one build and it doesn't work that way. This is what happens, a lot of debugging. Although you know you did everything right, but you did one silly mistake somewhere and it just doesn't want to run. Okay, this is again wrong. This is so wrong. Okay, the both are definitely syncing, but they both should not be syncing. Okay, the problem is just one line of problem, and that problem, okay, this one is syncing and this one is not ready to sync. So problem is very simple. Problem is the code for some reason is not recognizing this is local player line, not at all. Okay, so using mirror, which I have to, I am local player. I would update. This cannot go wrong, has no chance to go wrong. Don't know why it's try to do this way. If not is local player, return it. If it was, if it's not a local player, then it should not do this. Let's save it, build it. There is just one problem, and that is the only problem which we are facing. For some reason the code is reaching the places it should not reach at all. And I'm 100% sure it should work like this only, because there's no problem with the code at all. Okay, right, 1, 2, move this, you are moving, but I think it's the same problem. Okay, now for some reason the another player is not, I won't say it is better at all, because the client is able to send the command to the server, but server is not being able to create the copy, and this is something horrible going on here. This is not really sure what's happening. Okay, let me just open the same thing which I created, I think earlier as well, the networking core. Before doing the session, I created the same thing. Let me show you that because here in this project, I think I did some mistake, but I'm not able to recognize at all. So let me show you how it was supposed to work. All right, so you might recognize this project. Everything looks same. Let me just see what I couldn't figure out here. Auto create player, yes, it says yes. And this is the character which I have created. This is the network manager hood. If I go on the character, there's network identity, and there is there's the network identity, and then there is network transform, and it say has the client authority. So you can see it's the exact same script at 100% exact same script. Maybe a little bit here there because I recoded this one. Maybe some variable name or something is changed, but this is the exact same script. Nothing different. I have explained everything which I did here. Even these values are same to some extent. This function names are different, apply movement and calculate movement, right? But they are doing the same thing. And if I go here and let's say build it, here I did one as advancement which I was willing to do it if I could have had time, but I don't think I have time now. So I'll run this for you guys. It has the exact same setup, exact same thing, just one the camera code. I didn't code the camera for you in that one, but I did in this. So this is something I created just half an hour ago. And let's see how much this one, how this one works. Okay, so this is one instance here as server and here as client. Right. So I can make this. As I said, I couldn't get the time to code the camera, but here I can see now here only one character is moving. As you can say here, I'm also using the same thing. Okay, so you saw this exact same code, and there here it is working, there it is not working. I'm like, what is wrong with you, man? Why mirror? Why Unity? Why? So this is working. I know why it's working, but I don't know why that one is not working because that's exactly the same thing I did there, and that's the way to go. That's the way to build this. So there's something wrong. Network behavior is local player, the same thing I was using there, and there's just working. There's nothing fancy here. I don't know why that's not working there, but let's just wrap up this session here. Let me show you guys this one more time. This is the exact same code. Everything is same as I explained. All right. So let's go for host here. Not hosting. Client here. Okay. Something is wrong. One second. Okay. It was not hosting because it was already hosted. I didn't close the application. So I can easily reopen two applications or more than two. And the server is right now allowing only two candidates to join. Okay, as you can see, one candidate is moving and it's going all around and it's coming back and moving back. If this guy is going to say sit in back of it, it can see it sitting in back of it. It can, the other player can move around, and so that is basically how we are going to create our metaverses engine. So this is basically a very sketchy, very rough idea of how networking works, we'll go in deeper. We'll figure out what problem we did with this one, and I don't know why it's not working there and working here. So I coded this in the evening, and here it's, as you can see, it's working beautifully. I did the camera code. I did. I can even. I have plans to modify the camera code because right now this character is looking 2D. The main character which is moving is looking 2D. But as you can see, they are synced pretty nicely, and there's no problem. So out of the box, Mirror is giving us a lot of good syncing facility. So let's say uh, if I close all this two and create three platform and make one server and other two host, which will be our structure because we'll be hosting this platform onto AWS. It is going to go like work like charm and without any problem. So if I host this as I host this as server only. Hold on, it's something wrong. In one more instance, I'm going to host this as server only. All right, here client one. Okay, on this I have added that only two clients can join, so that's why it's not joining like that way. But I'll set up that in such a way that two clients could join in a better way. Okay, I'll fix it. I think run. This is a different one, and the build which is going for this one is a different one. Let me just show you that as well one more time. I'm going to do set up this network manager, make sure more than 5 people can join, max number of, build it one again so that you can see that particular example which I want to show. Build. This is the last thing I'm showing, and then we'll end it. This is one, this is two, and this is the third instance. Now we have it, and what we are going to do, we are going to run this just as a server only. Let me run one as a server only. Even doesn't really matter. Let's say I'm running this server only, and the other two are clients. So one client, second client, and the clients are syncing in between, but they are syncing from this server. Server really doesn't care if these are synced pretty nicely or not. It's just it doesn't care how it looks. It's just taking care of if they are synced properly or not. And as we can see on the clients, we are getting so much nice performance and everything. So it on server, as you can see, it doesn't even care about the latency and everything. It's just confirming everything. But on the client side, latency looks so cool. You can see. So right now it's running on local, so latency really is zero. Right now there's almost no uh, callbacks happening, so almost no latency. But we'll write the latency code and everything in the upcoming sessions so that we can make it better. So that's I think it for this session. The code and everything is going to be on the Git, so I'm going to update this project.